The Indian Navy is days away from commissioning a brand new ship that cannot launch a missile, fire a gun, or chase an adversary. Yet planners consider it as critical to national security as any destroyer on the order of battle. That ship is INS Nistar, a 9,350-ton diving support vessel delivered on July 8, 2025 and slated to join the fleet formally on the 18th. Built by Hindustan Shipyard Limited with roughly 75% indigenous content, Nistar trades combat power for something submariners value even more: the certainty that if disaster strikes hundreds of meters below the surface, help will come from home waters fast. Her entire design is built around that promise. A vast working deck supports a pair of Deep Submergence Rescue Vessels, the small pressure-hardened craft that can mate to a crippled submarine's escape hatch and ferry sailors to safety. Remote-operated vehicles fitted with sonars, cameras and manipulators can descend a full kilometer to assess damage, clear tangled debris or guide the DSRV into position. Diving bells, decompression chambers and saturation systems let teams of specialist divers work on wrecks for hours instead of minutes. Even the hull stabilizers and dynamic positioning thrusters exist for a single purpose: to hold the ship rock-steady over a stricken boat while the clock ticks on lives below. The urgency behind such capability is no abstraction. In August 2013, the Kilo-class submarine INS Sindhu Rakshak suffered a devastating explosion and sank at her Mumbai berth, killing all 18 crew members. No rescue was possible due to the severity of the incident. Going back further still, the name Nistar carries the memory of another crisis beneath Indian waters. In the opening nights of the 1971 Indo-Pak War, the Pakistani submarine PNS Ghazi sank off Visakhapatnam, likely the victim of an internal explosion or accidental detonation of her own mines, as confirmed by Indian Navy investigations. Divers operating from the Soviet-built tender INS Nistar, commissioned in 1971, combed the wreck, gathering intelligence and ensuring safe traffic around the busy harbour. That first Nistar never fired a shot either, but her presence shaped operational freedom in the Bay of Bengal. The 2025 vessel bears the same name by design, a tribute to quiet guardians who served between wars, their success measured in lives preserved rather than tonnage sunk. However, it's an entirely new build, not a continuation, clarifying any confusion about its origins. Yet the new Nistar is no mere homage. It embodies the Aatmanirbhar Bharat vision in steel and circuitry: domestically produced high-tensile hull sections, Indian-developed launch and recovery systems, locally manufactured saturation diving kits, and software written by homegrown firms to knit the whole rescue architecture together. Each component shortens supply chains, strengthens industrial skill sets, and reduces the leverage outsiders can exert in a moment of need. For naval headquarters, the payoff is simple: submarines can deploy farther and linger longer, confident that a dedicated guardian is available without diplomatic clearances or transoceanic mobilizations. For the crew families watching key link ceremonies become sail-away dates, Nistar is a promise that the country will own the means to bring loved ones back should the worst happen. So when the commissioning pennant rises over INS Nistar and no ceremonial broadside accompanies the salute, the absence of gunfire itself will be the message. Power at sea is not measured only by the weapons a ship carries, but by the resilience it confers on the force as a whole. With Nistar in the lineup, India can project submarines with the confidence that its most silent warriors are no longer one mechanical fault away from dependence. A vessel that cannot fight has at last given the fleet the freedom to fight, and that makes her as potent an addition as any frigate bristling with missiles.